How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We had something really interesting yesterday. We had two global leaders that both have been buying Bitcoin meet. I want to talk about something I want to talk about that meet and how they actually didn't really talk about Bitcoin and why that's not a bad thing. We also have some big economic events. We have some pretty important data coming out this week, and we have some other charts that we really should take a look at in Bitcoin. It's really fascinating. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this as soon as I make them. Also, if you want to trade cryptocurrency, there's a link underneath the video to Margex where you can get this set up in just a few minutes because you don't need a KYC. You don't have to give them your driver's license or social security number or bank info, anything like that. No, you just put in your email, a password, check their terms and conditions, and you can start trading. Also, you can trade with all different forms of collateral, such as you can use Solana for Bitcoin trades. You can use USDT or USDC for Bitcoin trades. You can use Ethereum. You can use Bitcoin, and you get paid out in that underlying collateral that you choose. For example, down here, you can actually see I have a Bitcoin trade that I'm using Solana as my collateral, and I have a Bitcoin trade where I'm using Caspa as collateral. So I can trade something that's a little bit less volatile like Bitcoin, but I can still leverage it and use other forms of collateral to stack more Solana and more Caspa. All these trades down here being up anywhere from 20 to 110%. So again, there's that link underneath the video. Let's start here. We have a couple things that we should be paying attention to this week in the market. Obviously, depending on what comes out for any of these economic events, people might talk about it. But a couple things of note. We have new home sales for August. We're expecting about 700,000. The previous was 739,000. So gives us some indication on maybe how strong the market is. We also have initial jobless claims. We're expecting 223. Previously it was 219. And then we have PCE on Friday and core PCE. We're expecting at about 0.1% month over month or 2.2% over the last year. Now, three things I think the market is watching right now. And keep in mind that S&P 500 is at all-time highs. We have the NASDAQ hitting all-time highs. Dow's hitting all-time highs. Crypto is doing pretty well with Bitcoin jumping 20% from the recent low. Three main things we should be watching. One, inflation, right? That's not what people are watching the most because it seems like we've already gone past inflation. That we just need to make sure now that it doesn't like spike back up with the Fed lowering rates. But people will still be paying attention to that. So we have inflation. We also have just the job market. What's unemployment? What are initial jobless claims? What does that look like? Because that's really where people's worries are right now, is that we're heading into recession. And how do we start that? We start that because a lot of people go out of work and then they're holding their purse strings a little bit tighter. They don't want to spend as much, which can cause issues in other parts of the economy. So we're watching unemployment rate. And then third, we can kind of just see how the economy is doing by looking at GDP. Like how is the economy doing? Are we still growing or are we contracting? Because that's how we actually tell if we're in recession, is if we have 2 quarters of negative growth. So that is what we'll be watching. Then the next week we have more unemployment reports, and jobless claims, ADP employment, job openings. So it's going to be a big week for unemployment, for jobs and stuff. And then obviously each week there's something new. So we'll just continue to monitor moving forward. But yeah, we also have the GDP revision on the 26th. So be on the lookout for that. We are expecting it to be revised down to 2.9% or revised to 2.9%. So a lot going on, but yeah, we'll keep on updating you as the week goes on. Bitcoin dominance falling a little bit. It was at 58.6%. Now it's at 57.8. Let's look at CoinMarketCap. We have Bitcoin right around 63,000. Ethereum's done pretty well recently, up almost to 2,600. So in the last 7 days, it's up 8.5% compared to Bitcoin's 5.3. Solana in the mid 140s, up 8% on the week as well. So that, I think, Ethereum jumping just a little bit against Bitcoin is what has taken Bitcoin dominance down slightly. Now, This is something that I saw yesterday. I almost made a video on it, but Elon Musk and Nayib Bukele met, and they talked about the future of humanity, how technology like AI and robotics will affect the world, etc. Now, I find this interesting because obviously both of these people own Bitcoin, right? Nayib Bukele has had El Salvador consistently buy 1 Bitcoin a day for, I think, well over a year now, since the bear market. Elon Musk and his companies own billions of dollars of Bitcoin, and yet they don't mention that they talked about Bitcoin. And some people I know are upset by this. Like when we see presidential debates, people think Bitcoin's going to be a talking point. Then they're maybe a little bit sad or disappointed when they don't talk about Bitcoin or crypto. I think this isn't that big a deal, actually. I think this is kind of the way that the world is heading, where two people that both own Bitcoin, continuously buy Bitcoin, don't even have to talk about it. Like, it's not a talking point. It's not this controversial thing. It's just, yeah, we buy Bitcoin. Just like they're not talking about what kind of real estate they're buying, right? Of course, some people will talk about it. There's strategic reasons to acquire Bitcoin as a company or a country and that kind of stuff. So sometimes they will talk about strategy, but I think this is where things are heading in the future. Just like you're not, talking to someone, like if you met with Elon Musk, you wouldn't be talking about how you're investing in your 401k. It's just kind of like an obvious thing, right? So I don't know. I think that's not the biggest deal in the world, but I know some people were probably a little bit disappointed that they didn't bring up Bitcoin. Bitcoin cycles, comparison from cycle bottom. Okay, we have been right on pace with previous cycles, with the last 2 previous cycles. Pretty much 2 years of recovery, and then we get the exciting point where we start moving up more drastically. So right now we're a couple months away. It looks like 3 months away or so, 2 months away from where we get out of the recovery phase and go into the bull market phase. That's gonna be fun, and that lasts about a year. And then we start to see a pretty rough bear market typically. Keep in mind too, viewership still isn't that high. Benjamin Cohen says viewership to various crypto YouTube channels still remains relatively low, especially compared to 2021. It's interesting how the price of Bitcoin is basically the same as it was in 2021, but social interest in 2024 is a lot lower. You can see the overall views about a third, maybe a fourth of what they were at the peak in 2021. Let me know your thoughts on all this, though, underneath the video. Let me know if you're excited where the market is. Obviously, Bitcoin around 63,000. We're testing this 200-day moving average. Would be nice to break through this, right? And then maybe even retest and then continue moving up. Obviously, 65,000 is an important level as well, since that was our last recent peak towards the end of August. So if we could break through this 200-day, I think we'd be looking quite bullish on a technical level. Obviously, the Fed lowering rates too is a huge tailwind, which is awesome for crypto and risk on assets. Let me know your thoughts if you're excited, if you're accumulating, or if you're just sitting on your hands or selling. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Check out the link underneath the video to Margex if you want to start trading. I'll see you all in the next one.